So I wanted to talk a little bit about the maximum rate because I've used that word a few times. Because a referendum is good for 8 years, so our community supported a referendum in 2018, here we are asking again for a renewal in 2025 because state law says a referendum is only good for 8 years, and then a school has to go back to their community and ask them to renew that support. So we have to look at within our team and also with our financial advisors and look out over the next 8 years, what might we need to be able to meet the priorities of the referendum. The state has significantly changed property taxes just in this last legislative session. So there are a whole lot of unknowns that are impacting all of us in local government right now, which made this even more challenging. But even with all of those unknowns, our school board was able to look and work with our financial advisors to say we can still reduce that maximum rate that we're asking from the 35 cents in 2018 to the 33 cents in 2025. That's the maximum rate that is applied. However, each year during the budgeting process, our team works with the school board in our public budget workshops, our public budget hearings, and we evaluate lots of different factors to determine what the actual rate needs to be for the upcoming year. So every year that decision is made knowing we can't ever exceed the maximum that was approved by the voters, but we don't necessarily have to apply to that full maximum rate each and every year. And that's exactly what we've been able to do since 2018. So you can see here on this visual at the bottom of the slide, in 2018, the voters approved a 35-cent referendum. We have never applied the full amount of that tax rate. And in fact, we've been able to drop that tax rate by 32%. That's because our community continues to grow, our net assessed values continue to grow. We also take a lot of pride in being good managers of taxpayer dollars. We pledged to our community in 2018 that we would not tax our community more with the referendum than what we needed to meet the priorities that the community said: class sizes, competitive teacher pay, and more opportunities. So we've been able to meet all those priorities and drop the tax rate by 32%. That continues to be our focus. Ultimately, on the ballot, we have to identify a tax rate that is that maximum rate that could potentially be needed over the next 8 years. Our commitment is if the voters were to support a referendum, a renewal referendum again in 2025, that we would only apply the tax rate that is necessary to meet those priorities set out for our community. Lower class sizes, more opportunities for our students, and competitive teacher pay. Ultimately, those are the priorities in 2018, and those are the priorities that we're coming to the voters again in 2025 for a consideration of a renewal of this referendum.